Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? You guys doing good too? I'm doing good too. Let's get on today's video session. Here we go. Yeah, how'd you like my rock and roll music as always? So welcome back on my video session today. How you guys doing today? It's been a long time. So where you guys been? What are you up to? So yeah, here we go. So today is pretty interesting because today I've got some information on three game consoles what you guys love. I'm not a huge fan of these consoles really. Yeah, we're gonna go into that probably first. Why do I think that these consoles are just not there, man? A lot of people don't think. When they're buying, every 5 years, they keep on releasing something new. Again and again. But the whole point of this thing is not buying a new thing. Do you actually like them? That's the thing. This is all about, the video I'm talking about today is all about the successes of these three systems. Which one is selling the most? You'll be surprised which one is selling the most. But when the Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X were launched, right? People were so surprised that they were they didn't do so that well. The Nintendo Switch was selling better. But is that the case still? Or has he actually changed? You gotta think that Sony and Microsoft systems are really advanced. Yeah? Yeah. They are most advanced when it comes to technical hardware. We all know that. They are, aren't they? But the Microsoft one was the most technically most superior one when it comes to hardware. It always does win in hardware, doesn't it? But does he always win the competition? Well, if you look at the previous competition we had with Sony PS4 and Microsoft Xbox One, what happened? Xbox One was worse as selling system, wasn't it? It didn't do so well. And then we got another system which appears in 2017, Nintendo Switch. Beats both of them put together. Crazy world out there, isn't it? How is that happening, man? Even powerful hardware doesn't win the competition. It doesn't. The most powerful thing does not win. But no, here it does, doesn't it? Maybe Hadouken. Maybe the fighting world, it probably does in some way. It's not easy to win a fight either, is it? It's quite difficult. Things are getting really frustrating and difficult for Sony and Microsoft. We're gonna go into that right now. Now, Nintendo gaming has always been the best. It's always been the best for software titles. The Nintendo exclusives that Nintendo produce are far beyond anything you'll ever see. I mean, every single system that Nintendo's ever produced in their life, right, is amazing. Who agrees with that? I don't know how many people will agree with that, but there's some people out there into Sony, Microsoft, and PC. Fine, choice is yours. We're not arguing over that, okay? But it's been said, I don't want to say this, but it's been said, Nintendo is the best game developer in the world. Isn't that surprising? Best game developer in the world. I mean, let's forget about the best games, yeah? If you look at each machine that Nintendo's produced, it doesn't matter about the sales. Forget about the sales. Who cares? It's always going to be the best. Isn't it? Since Nintendo produced the Nintendo 64, that's where the real 3D hardware came, didn't it? Nintendo 64 was a legendary games console. A lot of people used to say that the Nintendo 64 is a legendary games console in its own right. It had legendary games. Super Mario 64, Lilac Wars, GoldenEye, F-Zero X, Super Smash Bros. Wow. Mario Kart 64. All of these big games, Mischief Makers, Hybrid Heaven, ISS Pro, something football game on there. Man, these games are proper classics on it. Star Wars Racer, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3D, and so on. These games were superb on there, wasn't it? Now, the whole problem is that Nintendo is still producing good titles. If you remember back in 2001, Nintendo teamed up with Panasonic. Yeah. And they produced a system called Panasonic Q Games Console, which was called a Panasonic Q GameCube, whatever you want to call it. What was this thing? Even today's date, right? It still is one of the greatest and the most technically superior games console in the world. Doesn't matter what year it's made. Years aren't important, alright? Years not important. What is important? How a system is developed. Yeah? And what kind of features does it bring you as a multimedia system? If we look at the Panasonic Q, right? Panasonic brought us incredible features, right? If we look at majority the work was put into this system, it was a lot. A lot of work was put into this system. I am not kidding on that. Don't look at just the DVD capabilities and the Nintendo GameCube. Don't look at it like that. It was more than that. I have never seen a system with so much going on with it. If you look at its color, it was in silver. All right. Silver is a very shiny color. It looks attractive, right? And many games consoles don't come in that color, do they? But the thing is with that, it wasn't just the color. Loads of people will make silver colors, but they're not shiny. Uh-uh. But this Panasonic key was really shiny. It shines like a glass. What else did we have in the front of the system? There was a mirror faceplate. A mirror faceplate. You can see your own face in there, like a mirror. And then you got anything you put in front of it, you can see in there. It's a mirror, isn't it? That's why. And at the top, there were handles to hold it. Really good. Really, really good. Nintendo GameCube had a handle at the back, but the Panasonic Q's got handles at the top. Okay? If you still keep on looking at the top, there's an LCD screen giving you data information. If you want to play a DVD, it will say DVD/CD on there. If you want to play a game, if you're into Nintendo GameCube games, it will say GameCube on there. On the LCD display, it's amazing. Play, rewind, stop. It said all down there. And then just below this LCD screen, there were buttons at the top. Right at the top. Handles, LCD screen, buttons at the front. These are all at the top. I'm talking about that. The top part. Then right at the front, there were buttons to the left, there were buttons to the right. Incredible. Incredible. Front loading DVD tray. Okay. 4 control ports which give you a blue LED light and a lot of what do you call it? Yeah, what do you call it? Ports at the back. There were really important ports at the back. Audio, subwoofer stuff, digital out, video composite, TTS, lots of stuff at the back. And it played the most majority media playback CDs. First of all, Nintendo GameCube, DVD, VCD, audio CD, RRW, MP3 CDs. He played all these formats. This is what all the Panasonic Q was all about. It had a lot of features in there. It was a hybrid system. And also on top of that, Nintendo GameCube, it still holds one of the finest game in gaming industry. Even Nintendo Switch, right, does not own these games yet. Even they got plans for them, that's entirely up to them. But right now, they don't own them. Okay? These are really important. Now, we're going to go into the successes of these 3 systems. What's going on? Okay? First, we're going to go for Sony PS5 sales. Okay? Now, these sales, right, are double compared to what? Microsoft Xbox Series X or the Nintendo Switch? Which one? No, it's double than the Microsoft Xbox Series X. Why, it's happening again. Now the Sony system is dominating once again. Okay? Right. And Nintendo Switch, right, is selling more than both of these systems. It's still carrying on. Combined. And what about, like, you got these Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. You got these two systems. The Nintendo system, right, is selling, put them together. That's crazy. That is just crazy, isn't it? Okay? Right. Now, the Sony PS5 sales are about 3.3 million, but we'll have shortages in 2022. Okay? So, how much sales does the Microsoft Xbox Series have then? 1.3 million. Can you see the difference now? Microsoft Xbox Series X right now is 1.3 million, and Sony PS5 is 3.3. Now, what about the Nintendo Switch sales? How good are them? That is 4.72 million, man. It's the ultimate powerful seller. Check it out. Check it out, man. Nintendo Switch again dominates the scene. Even I still think the Panasonic Q is still one of the greatest games console on planet Earth because of its multimedia features, and Nintendo GameCube still holds one of the finest titles. But when we look at Nintendo Switch against the Sony and Microsoft system, it beats them again. So well done for that. So Nintendo has won once again. I think this momentum is going to keep on carrying on throughout this year. They're not going to be able to beat it. Well, I don't know about next year, but if we look at this year, the way it's keep on going, Nintendo's going to keep on doing it. Sony and Microsoft is failing once again. Terrible, aren't they? What's the point of all this hardware? You're not even doing so well. You're struggling. Struggling again. You know, the only thing worries me about Nintendo Switch, right? Not the sales. The sales are fine. It's going to keep on selling. It needs to grab the Nintendo GameCube games. Because otherwise my attention is always going to be staying on Panasonic Q. Yeah, because I'm always on that system every time. It's just really appealing, absorbing. There's so many good titles on that thing, isn't it? My main games on the Panasonic Q will be right. Wow. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil 0, Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi Mansion, F-Zero X, Star Fox Assault, and Wave Race Blue Storm. Check out some of these exclusives, man. They're still on just the GameCube. I think Nintendo needs to work on that. They need to grab some of these games. They don't have them. They're still lagging behind. They need to work really, really hard on that. Because one of the biggest thing, right, for Nintendo exclusives is F-Zero GX. right? And Metro Prime 2 Echoes, you know, and Star Fox Assault. These games are epic on this system, man. They're unbeatable. They're still one of the best. They need to have games like that. They haven't got them. Even the Panasonic Q, obviously Japanese, he's got a game called Bloody Roar Extreme. Bloody Extreme is a pretty good game as well. It's quite fluid. I mean, if you look at the previous versions of this game, they're not fluid as this version of Bloody Roar Extreme. Bloody Extreme is still one of the finest Bloody Roar game in existence, unless they make a new version of the game. Then the Switch needs to go on that. They haven't got that. There's so much variety to it. I mean, there's some other games as well, like Star Wars Rogue Leader, Star Wars, what's that, Rogue Squadron something, Rebel Strike 3. These are epic games as well. I mean, there's so much to it. The Panasonic Q will always be the top spot for gaming. Yeah. Oh, for multimedia features, tops anyway. I think it's got both worlds. I think anybody who buys a Panasonic Q will be quite impressed. Because what's Panasonic done with top multimedia features and adding a Nintendo GameCube is just the best thing ever. So anyway, Nintendo Switch is a powerful seller. Out of these Sony PS5, Microsoft Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch is a champion. Still wins. Throughout the year, it's going to sell well. If any more information comes back Nintendo Switch, I'll tell you. For now, that's the information I just wanted to share. Give your likes, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.